In this video, you will learn about the 2024 to 2025 USA Wrestling Girls Folkstyle rule modifications. These modifications have been adopted for girls divisions at Folkstyle Nationals and Folkstyle Tour of America events. Girls rule modifications for 2024 to 2025 include step out and neutral start. First, we'll review the step out modification. 1 point will be awarded if from a neutral position, with neither wrestler on the mat with one or two knees touching in the down position, the action goes out of bounds based on NFHS guidelines. The step out point will be awarded to the opponent of the wrestler who first steps out with both feet. Here are some step out examples and rule clarifications. The wrestler in green steps out with both feet. Red is awarded 1 step out point. If there is a step out by a wrestler and the opposing wrestler immediately completes a scoring action, that action will be scored and a step out point will not be awarded. The wrestler in green steps out with both feet, but red immediately completes a takedown. Red earns the takedown, but no step out point is awarded. Once a wrestler steps out of bounds with both feet while neutral, that wrestler cannot return from out of bounds to score points. The whistle will sound and 1 point is awarded to the opponent and wrestling will resume in the middle of the mat. Red steps out with both feet, then returns inbounds and finishes a takedown. Once red steps out, they cannot return inbounds and score, so the match was stopped and green was awarded with a step out point. If the wrestlers go out of bounds and either wrestler is on the mat with one or two knees touching in a down position, no step out point will be awarded. Red takes a shot and has a knee on the mat before green steps out with both feet. In this situation, no step out point is awarded. If a wrestler uses a straight arm push-out, the opponent is not penalized. This is considered stalling under the NFHS rules and should be penalized accordingly. The green wrestler used a straight arm push-out. This is stalling on green and a step out point is not awarded. Here is another example of stalling. The green wrestler has a single leg and walks red off of the mat. This is stalling on green and no step out point is awarded. If the defensive wrestler stands in an attempt to gain an escape and is driven out of bounds, without gaining an escape, there will not be a step out point awarded. Neutral wrestling was not established. The defensive wrestler in red stands up but action goes out of bounds before an escape. No step out point is awarded as neutral wrestling was not established. If the defensive wrestler stands, is awarded the escape point, and then steps out of bounds, the step out point will be awarded to the opposing wrestler. The defensive wrestler in red stands up and earns an escape before stepping out with both feet. Green is awarded a step out point. If the defensive wrestler stands, is awarded the escape point, and then the other wrestler steps out of bounds, the step out point will be awarded. The defensive wrestler in red stands up and earns an escape before green steps out with both feet. Red is awarded a step out point. Now we will review the official signal for a step out. The signal for a step out point in Folkstyle will be the pointing of the appropriate index finger indicating the point. It would be followed with the signal of both hands in the air indicating both wrestlers return to the standing position, like when indicating the escape point. This is an additional way of signaling the step out. It is not a penalty but an offensive score. We will now move on to the second modification, neutral start. Following the end of each period, the wrestlers will begin the subsequent period, including overtime, in the neutral position. In the event of overtime, the first overtime period will begin in the neutral position, as in the current NFHS rule. The first point scored of any type and sudden victory terminates the match. If no scoring happens, the wrestlers will wrestle for 2 30-second periods. The 2 30-second periods will be conducted similarly to the freestyle activity period. If the wrestler being placed on the clock fails to score in the 30 seconds, their opponent will be awarded 1 point. The wrestler winning the coin flip chooses if she wishes to be on the clock first or second. In the second 30-second period, the other wrestler is put on the clock. The entire 30 seconds in each second and third overtime period will be wrestled to completion unless there is a fall. If the wrestler on the clock does not score, 1 point will be awarded to their opponent regardless of any scoring by their opponent. Stalling, step out, or takedown points will be awarded as earned. If the score is tied at the conclusion of the second and third overtime periods, the wrestler scoring last will be declared the winner.